Dear viewers, let us solve one more a different type of problem on the Bode plots or Bode attenuation diagrams. The problem is it is problem number 4. So, what it says is draw the Bode plot for open loop transfer function GS HS is equal to 180 divided by S plus 1 into S square plus 6S plus 13. It is not S plus 1, it is S plus 2. S square plus 6S plus 13. This is the problem. Okay. The very first thing what you need to do is you have to start developing the analytics for drawing the magnitude versus frequency plot. So, solution starts here. So, to draw the magnitude plot, so the standard form is GS HS is equal to 180 K divided by 1 plus ST into S square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. This will be the standard form. Now, if you just look over there, then GS HS is equal to K is nothing but 180 divided by, see, 1 plus ST, S plus 2, you need to bring S plus 2 into 1 plus ST form. So, if you take out 2, you will be getting S into 1 plus S into 1 by 2 multiplied by retain as it is S square plus 6S plus 13, because this is already in this form. Okay. So, thereby you will be getting 90 divided by 1 plus S into 1 by 2 into S square plus 6S plus 13. This is what is your open loop transfer function going to be. Then next step is to find the corner frequencies. So, corner frequencies, that is omega c. If you want to find corner frequencies, then for this factor, that is 1 plus S into 1 by 2 factor, corner frequency is equal to, the formula is 1 by T, that is T over here is 1 divided by 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is T, because if you compare the factor with the standard form, then you will find that T is nothing but 1 by 2. So, 1 by T means 1 by 2, that will give you 2 radians per second. Do not name whether corner frequency is corner frequency number 1 or 2 or 3 yet. Then first write the corner frequencies for all the factors. Then after this we are left with only one factor, that is S square plus 6S plus 13. So, for S square plus 6S plus 13, corner frequency will be nothing but the natural frequency. So, if you compare this factor with the standard one, then omega n square is equal to 13. Therefore, omega n square is equal to 13. So, omega n will be is equal to root of 13. Root of 13 will be nothing but 3.6 radians per second. Now, this is what is your corner frequency. Now, the lowest corner frequency should be the corner frequency number 1. So, lowest corner frequency among these two will be 2 radians per second. So, name that WC as WC1 and T as T1. If you just see, I will name that as T1. Then the next corner frequency is nothing but 3.6 radians per second, name it as WC2, WC2. Then you can also find the damping ratio. So, 2 zeta omega n, if you compare this with this factor, so 2 zeta omega n is equal to 6. This is what you have. So, 2 zeta omega n, therefore 2 goes 3 times with this, 1 times with this. So, therefore, zeta is equal to 3 divided by omega n, and omega n is nothing but 3.6. So, this will be approximately some 3.3 divided by 3 is 6. So, this will be somewhere around 0.8 or something. This will not have a unit. Okay. Then the next step for drawing the magnitude plot is to find the starting point. Now consider this factor only. In all the previous cases, we used to have s power n factor over here, whereas in this problem there is no s power n factor. So consider only the constant. When you consider only the constant, then here you need not assume the starting frequency. Why? Because if there was to be s factor, s power n factor, then you should have assumed the starting frequency. Here, since there is no s power n factor to find the starting point, you will have to find the starting point by considering only the constant, that is 90 over here. So, because of which, whether you give the value of omega as 0 or infinity, it makes no difference, because constant remains unchanged, because of which there is no point in giving the or assuming the starting frequency. Therefore, the starting point SP will be equal to 20 log 90 to the base 10. That will give me about, I think, 39.04 decibels as the starting point. So along y axis, I need to mark the starting point for the magnitude plot as 39.04 decibels. Then after the starting point is found, then next is to draw the table. The table will have factor, then the corner frequency, then individual slope contributions, then cumulative slope contributions. Now, the very first factor, since there is no s power n factor present in the given problem, we will start with the factor, that is the constant 90, or over here rather it is 180 or 90, say 180 as it is present over here for the factor 180. Then what we will come to know is for the factor constant, the corner frequency, there will be no corner frequency, individual slope contribution, no slope contribution. Cumulative slope contribution, it will be just a straight line, a line parallel to x-axis to be drawn till the starting frequency, till the corner frequency. When we say corner frequency, which corner frequency? If you want to find, first fill the corner frequency column. What is the corner frequency column contains? See, the lowest corner frequency must be written first. So 2 radians per second will be the lowest corner frequency, and 3.6 radians per second is the next corner frequency. So here when we say till the corner frequency, 2 radians per second. So a straight line, earlier for the factor, the problems where the s power n factor was present, we used to draw a line of slope, say minus 20 decibels per decade or minus 40 decibels per decade or so, till the next corner frequency. Whereas here there is no s power n factor, because of which we need to draw a line parallel to the x-axis. How long? Till the corner frequency, next corner frequency, that is 2 radians per second. There won't be any slope, there will be a line parallel to the x-axis. That is what has been written over here. Then this 2 radians per second is for which factor? It is for s plus 2 factor. Where is it present? It is present in the denominator, so negative sign. And what is the power of x? It is 1, so 1. Then what is the power of the factor s plus 2? It is again 1, so minus 1. When this is the case, then 1 into s power is 1, so that means to say it will be 20 decibels. The individual slope contribution will be 20 decibels per decade, and since it is in the denominator, here it will be negative sign, here also it will be in the negative sign. So individual slope contribution will be minus 20 decibels per decade. So the cumulative one will be a line of slope minus 20 decibels per decade till the next corner frequency, that is from 2 radians per second, the last where the previous magnitude slope contribution had ended, from there we have to start. So from 2 radians per second till next corner frequency, that is 3.6 radians per second. Then 3.6 radians per second is for the factor s square plus 6s plus 13. This is also present in the denominator, so negative sign. The power of the factor is 1, so 1. Power of s is 2. So since s square is there, 2 into 20, 40 decibels per decade, into the factor power is 1, so 40 decibels per decade, into the sign is negative because it is present in the denominator, so minus 40 decibels per decade will be the individual slope contribution. So the cumulative slope contribution will be a line of slope minus 20 minus 40 minus 60 decibels per decade from the last left one, so that is 3.6 radians per second, and it goes on till infinity. So this is the table that will help me out for drawing the magnitude plot. This is the analytics that we have evolved so that we can draw the magnitude plot. Then next is to draw the phase angle plot. The very first step to draw the phase angle plot is to write the equation. So here if we write the equation to draw the phase angle plot for the given open loop transfer function, see 180 is in the numerator, so 180 is a constant, the phase angle for a constant is 0, so 0 degree. Then there is nothing else present in the numerator, so negative sign, when we start writing the phase angle for the denominator terms, then it should be written with the negative sign. So minus s plus 2, s plus 2 can be written as j omega plus 2, so the phase angle will be tan inverse of omega by 2. So tan inverse of omega by 2. Then next is this factor. So this factor has to be written with tan inverse of, the formula says 2 zeta omega by omega n whole divided by 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. Now if we try to substitute this and find, it will be minus tan inverse of omega by 2 minus tan inverse of, if we substitute zeta value, omega n value over here, 0.46 omega divided by 0.46 omega 1 minus 0.077 omega square. This is only for simplification purpose, because every time you need not calculate a tedious factor. So I have just substituted the value of zeta as well as omega. Omega n we know 3.6 radians per second, zeta we know 0.8 something, 0.82 or 85 something. So if you substitute there, then just simplify this factor, you will be arriving at simplest bracket content, so that the moment you apply the various values of omega, you will be able to calculate phase angles very easily. Now that we have already found the analytics for drawing the magnitude versus frequency plot, now to draw the phase angle plot, the second part of the Bode plots, right? So we have written the phase angle equation over here. Now for various values of omega, we should calculate the phase angles, and we must never forget that the phase, even when we assume the first frequency, see here in this particular problem, while calculating the starting point for magnitude versus frequency plot, in all the previous problems we had assumed the starting frequency maybe 0.1 or 0.01 or 1 radian per second as such, and the concern was the starting point should have been obtained above 0 decibel line, a positive value of starting point should have been obtained. Now here in this problem, since there is no s power n factor, what we could do is, we have calculated the starting point without assuming the starting frequency, and fortunately we got the starting point to be 39.04 decibels, which is very much above the 0 decibel line. Therefore we can be assured that the gain crossover point will be coming into existence. Now when we start calculating the phase angle for various values of omega, since in the previously calculated starting point for magnitude plot, we had not assumed the starting frequency, now is the time when we have to assume the starting frequency for the phase angle plot at least. So, and there also we must ensure that the starting frequency that we will be assuming, that will give us the value of phase angle, which if we mark it on the phase angle versus frequency plot, it comes above minus 180 degree line. This we have to keep in mind. So here let us assume starting frequency omega is equal to 0.1 radians per second. When we assume that, we will start from that. At 0.1 omega, the phase angle, if we apply at omega values, if we apply over here, of 0.1 as we have assumed, if we apply over here, the phase angle that I am going to get is minus 5.5 degrees. That means it will be very much above minus 180 degree line in the phase angle versus frequency plot. And then we gave different values of omega, and we found that at omega equal to 5, the phase angle will be minus 180 degree, which is nothing but the reference line, and then further increase in the omega values has led us to the phase angles which are very much lower compared to 180 degree. That means to say, when we draw the phase angle, we can virtually see that the phase angle plot will be crossing over minus 180 degree line, and we will be getting the phase crossover point. So because of which we can be assured of finding the gain margin. Okay, once we have done that, now let us try to make the plot. Now again, you can start from 80, 60, 40, 20. The one major portion you can give it as 20 decibels in the magnitude plot. See, magnitude versus frequency plot has to be drawn in the top portion of the semi-logarithmic sheet, and phase angle versus frequency must be drawn in the bottommost portion of the semi-logarithmic sheet. Okay, phase angle versus frequency, magnitude versus frequency. Let me keep these values itself, as we had solved one problem earlier. 80 was the highest value we had kept in the magnitude along y-axis. Let us keep the same thing. See, what is the starting, and 0 decibel line, as I have been repeatedly mentioning this, 0 decibel line is to be considered as the reference line, because it is 0 decibel line in magnitude versus frequency plot, where the magnitude plot intersects 0 decibel line. That point is called gain crossover point. And gain crossover point, if we draw a vertical line onto the phase angle versus frequency plot, that will give us the phase margin. That is why 0 decibel line is to be considered as reference line. Then let me just write the ready slopes of minus 20 decibels per decade, minus 40, minus 40 decibels per decade, and minus 60 decibels per decade. We have had elaborate and enough discussions, or rather detailing on the slopes now. Now once you have this, then we will start making the magnitude versus frequency plot. See, the starting point is 39.04 decibels. So 39.04 decibels comes here. Now for the constant, as per the transfer function given, for the constant, the cumulative slope contribution is nothing but there is no slope. So there will be no corner frequency first of all, no individual slope contribution will be there. It will just be a line parallel to the x-axis, parallel to the x-axis. See, the starting frequency we have assumed in the phase angle versus frequency plot is 0.1 radians per second. So I will retain as it is. So from that starting frequency along x-axis, along y-axis, I need to mark 39.04 decibels, and then a line has to be drawn which is parallel to the x-axis. A line has to be drawn which has to be parallel to the x-axis. How long it should be drawn? It should be drawn from this starting frequency, as we have assumed, till 2 radians per second. Where is 2 radians per second? See, 0.1 you have started, 1 decade means 1, then 2 comes over here. So till here you have to draw a line parallel to the x-axis, right? Why it is parallel to the x-axis? It is explained. See, there will be no omega value. For any value of omega, the constant is not going to change, because of which the magnitude plot will be a line parallel to the x-axis. There will be no slope. Then for the next factor, s plus 2 power minus 1, it will be a line of slope minus 20 decibels per decade from 2 radians per second till 3.6 radians per second. So from here you have to draw a line, which is parallel to this line, because from here what you draw, it should be a line of slope minus 20 decibels per decade. So from this point you draw a line which is parallel to this line. How long you should draw? Till it goes till 3.6 radians per second. So 3 is here, 3.6 comes somewhere here. So till here you must draw. Then for this factor, it will be a line of slope minus 60 decibels per decade. From this point, you need to draw a line which is parallel to this line, because you have to draw a line of slope minus 60 decibels per decade. This is the line of minus 60 decibels per decade, because of which you need to draw a line from here in this direction, which should be parallel to this line. Okay. Now, how long it should go? It should keep going. So, this is nothing but the magnitude versus frequency plot, and the point over here is called gain crossover point, and if you drop it down onto the x-axis, the frequency that you get over here is called gain crossover frequency. Then let us try to draw the phase angle versus frequency plot. Let me say the point where we left here minus 40 decibels, just next to bigger division, let me name it as 0 degree, 0 degree, negative, minus 45, minus 90, minus 135, minus 180, minus 225, minus 270, minus 315 degree. And here minus 180 degree line must be considered as the reference line. That is why I am highlighting it. Reason being that when I draw the magnitude plot, when I mark all the phase angles over here against various frequencies, I will be ending up with the magnitude versus frequency plot. And when I complete the magnitude frequency versus phase angle versus frequency plot, then the point where the phase angle plot intersects minus 180 degree line, that point is called phase crossover point. And from that phase crossover point, if I draw a vertical line upwards onto the magnitude plot, I will be able to get the gain margin. That is why minus 180 degree line is called the reference line for phase angle versus frequency plot. Now, once I have marked it, now let me mark the various phase angles. At 0.1 omega, it is minus 5.5, it will be somewhere here. Then at 1 radians per second, it is minus 53. So, at 1 radian per second is here, minus 45, minus 53 will be somewhere here. Then at omega equal to 3, it is minus 133, 3, minus 90 is here, minus 135 is here, so it will be here. At omega is equal to 4, it is minus 160, so minus 4 radians per second is here, minus 180, minus 160 will be somewhere here. At omega equal to 5, it will be 180, so at omega equal to 5, it will be 180 degree. At omega equal to 6, it is minus 194. At omega equal to 6, it is minus 194. At omega equal to 10, it will be minus 224. It will be somewhere here. So if you just join it with the help of a smooth curve, it just keeps going till infinity later. Now the point where it is intersecting the minus 180 degree line is called phase crossover point. The frequency at which it exists is called phase crossover frequency. Okay. And then what we can find is, if you just extend the vertical line from phase crossover point onto the magnitude plot till it reaches the 0 decibel line, what you will get is gain margin. And from gain crossover point, if you extend a vertical line onto the phase angle plot to meet minus 180 degree line till the phase angle plot, the distance is called phase margin. And as we know the ground rule, if the gain margin is found to be above 0 decibel line, it is negative. So it is negative gain margin. And if the phase margin is found to be below minus 180 degree line, it is negative. So negative phase margin. And condition for stability is if and only if both the gain margin as well as phase margin, if they are found to be positive, only then the system is going to be stable. If both of them are negative, the system is unstable. Even if either of the two, even if gain margin alone is negative or phase margin alone is negative, even in that case the system is unstable. So there is only one condition in which the system will become stable, only and only if both the gain margin and phase margin are positive. Only in that case the system is going to be stable, rest no other condition will make the system to be stable. So here, as you can see, both gain margin and phase margin are negative. The system is unstable. The system is unstable. Let us try to solve one more problem. I won't be making the complete solution of the problem on the board, but I'll just give you a beginning. Rest the same thing, same approach, same procedure remains as we have followed for the previous problems also. The problem is given as obtain the Bode plot for the block diagram circuit shown. Okay. So what we are given with is the block diagram circuit, for which we need to find we need to draw the Bode attenuation diagrams. The problem given is right. So the problem given is the block diagram circuit has been given and we need to find the solution to draw the Bode attenuation diagrams or Bode plots. Okay. Now in all the previous problems, the open loop transfer function was directly given to us in terms of GS, HS or so. Whereas in this problem, the block diagram circuit is given, and if we recall what we had discussed earlier in the previous sessions is, the procedure is first ensure whether the given problem is in terms of open loop transfer function GSHS or not. If it is not, then you bring it to the GSHS form, then you start applying the procedure for drawing the Bode attenuation diagrams. So here the block diagram is given, so you need to first find the open loop transfer function from this block diagram circuit and then you can start the solution. So here if you just see, we can apply first apply, see these two blocks are in series, so cascading rule of block diagram reduction can be used. So what you can say, if we apply cascading, the content of both the blocks should be multiplied. So it gives me 250K divided by S into S plus 5 and this remains as it is. Now what we can say, the content of this block is nothing but GS, which is 250K divided by S into S plus 5. Then content of this block is nothing but HS. So HS is equal to 1 divided by S plus 50. Now the open loop transfer function, that is nothing but GS HS is given by 250K k divided 250k into 1 is 250k divided by s into s plus 5 into s plus 50. So now you have got the problem in terms of open loop transfer function GSHS. Now hereafter the procedure remains the same as for all the previous problems that we have solved and discussed in these sessions. So what will be the procedure? First you will to draw the magnitude plot, first you will bring it into the standard format. Then next step is to find the corner frequencies. Next you will find the starting point by assuming a starting frequency. Then you will draw the table comprising of columns such as factor, corner frequency, individual slope contribution, cumulative slope contribution. So that will give you the analytics to draw the magnitude versus frequency plot. Then you will write the equation for phase angle to draw the phase angle plot. Then for various values of omega, you will be calculating the phase angles. Then you will go to the semi-logarithmic sheet, and then in the top portion you will be drawing the magnitude versus frequency plot. In the bottom portion you will be drawing the phase angle versus frequency plot. Then in the magnitude versus frequency plot, the point where the magnitude plot crosses the 0 decibel line, you will mark it as gain crossover point. If you just draw the vertical onto the x-axis, the point where the gain crossover point exists, you will be able to find the gain crossover frequency. And then the point where the vertical line meets the phase angle plot till the minus 180 degree line, that will give you the phase margin. And then similarly, in the bottom part, the point where the phase angle plot will cross the minus 180 degree line, that point is called phase crossover point. From that point, if you draw the vertical line onto the x-axis, you will be getting the phase crossover frequency at the phase crossover point. Then from that phase crossover point, if you project a vertical onto the magnitude plot, the point where it intersects the magnitude plot till the 0 decibel line, that will give you the gain margin. And for a system to be stable, gain margin and phase margin, both of them need to be positive. And how they will become positive? Only if you find the gain margin to be below 0 decibel line, the gain margin will be positive. And if the phase margin is found above minus 180 degree line, it is found to be positive. Only in those cases, both of them will be positive, and only when they are positive, the system will be stable. And if the gain margin is found to be above 0 decibel line, it is negative gain margin. If phase margin is found below minus 180 degree line, it is negative phase margin. And whether both gain margin and phase margin are negative or either of them is negative, the system is not going to be stable, it is going to be unstable. The only condition for the system to be stable is both the gain margin and phase margin that we find from the Bode plots should be positive. Only then the system is going to be stable. So for this problem, rest of the procedure remains the same as I have just now explained. Thank you.